Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create zones policy along with inter-VLAN routing in Sophos Firewall. So if you are fresher and you want to learn how to create these things, so please watch this video till the end. So let me show you the topology, what I have described, right? तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो कि ये मेरा लैब सेटअप है जिसके थ्रू मैं इस लैब को करूँगा, राइट? सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई वांट to describe about this topology, right? So as you can see that this is the internet, right? ये मेरा इंटरनेट है जिससे मैंने एक लीस्ट लाइन लिया है, आई मीन आईएसपी से, राइट? इट कुड बी एयरटेल और इट कुड बी TCL or it could be Vodafone, right? So let's suppose in my topology I have taken one internet line from the ISP. So this interface I mean port 1 would be the WAN zone, right? I mean this is the outside interface, right? And this is the inside interface, right? Because this LAN is established in my LAN department, right? LAN organization. And this is the internet which is connected to the port 1, right? So this port would be in outside zone, and this port, I mean port 2, would be in inside zone, I mean LAN zone, right? So as you can see that here I have written trusted network, and this is the public network, I mean untrusted network, right? So behind the firewall, as you can see that there are different I mean subnet and different department. Let's suppose this is the production department, right? This is the prod department, I mean production, right? And this would be the database server, right? And this is the help desk department, right? So these are the user, I mean help desk user is connected to the port 4, right? Whatever user is there, all user are connected to the port 4, right? And fast ethernet 0/4, जितने भी ये मेरे यूजर हैं ये इस इंटरफेस से कनेक्टेड है, राइट? सो इसका जो सबनेट है 10.1.3.0/24 इस सबनेट में है, राइट? डेटाबेस सर्वर जो है मेरा VLAN 20 में बिलोंग करता है और पोर्ट 3 इसको असाइन हुआ, राइट? एंड प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट की इफ आई टॉक अबाउट प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट, सो ये VLAN 10 में बिलोंग करता है, राइट? और इसका जो सबनेट है 10.1.0/24, राइट? इसको जो मैंने IP असाइन किया है 10.1.1, एंड इसको जो IPDB सर्वर को असाइन किया है 10.1.2 एंड 10.1.3.1, जो कि मेरा हेल्प डेस्क डिपार्टमेंट है, राइट? यहाँ पे मल्टीपल यूजर हैं, सो मैं ओनली एक यूजर को डिस्क्राइब कर रहा हूँ, राइट? यू कैन असाइन मल्टीपल IPs, राइट? सो ये VLAN 10 में होगा, पोर्ट 2 VLAN 10 में मैं असाइन करूंगा, पोर्ट 3 विल बी द VLAN 20 and port 4 would be the in VLAN 30, right? And this port, I mean fast ethernet 0/1 would be the trunk port, and यहाँ आप देख सकते हो कि मैंने VLAN 10 and 20 and 30 अलाउड किया हूँ, राइट? इन जोन्स के लिए, राइट? सो यहाँ पे देख सकते हो ये मेरा जो IP है, ये यूजर है, आई मीन जो प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट है, राइट? 10.1.1 ये इसके लिए गेटवे होगा, एंड 10.1.2.0, राइट, इसके लिए गेट DB सर्वर के लिए गेटवे होगा, 3.1.3.10 जो कि मेरा हेल्प डेस्क के लिए गेटवे होगा, राइट? तो इसको मैं डालूंगा, लेट सपोज इसको मैं डाल दिया प्रोडक्शन जोन में, राइट? प्रोड जोन में, प्रोडक्शन जोन में, एंड इसको मैंने डाल दिया DB जोन, राइट? और इसको मैं डाल दूंगा हेल्प डेस्क जोन, राइट? 3 जोन मैं यहाँ पे क्रिएट करूंगा, राइट? आफ्टर क्रिएटिंग अ जोन आई विल create the inter-VLAN routing, then I will create the policy, right? So I think you have understood about from this topology, right? So let me show you the lab, right? So as you can see that यहाँ पे मैंने एक बेसिक लैब सेटअप डिजाइन किया, राइट? सो यहाँ पे जो मेरा ये इंटरफेस है, ये WAN से कनेक्टेड है, आई मीन ISP से, एंड ये E2 जो पोर्ट कनेक्टेड है ये स्विच से कनेक्टेड है, जो कि लैन में रिसाइड करता है। और ये मेरा लेट सपोज ये प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट हो गया, ये डीबी डिपार्टमेंट हो गया, एंड डेटाबेस सर्वर हो गया, और यहाँ पे हेल्प डेस्क हो गया, राइट? सो आई डोंट हैव एनी physical, I mean server, virtual server in Genus 3. I am just showing you how to create a zone and inter-VLAN routing and policy creation, right? और ये जो मेरा मैनेजमेंट पीसी है, ये E0 से कनेक्टेड, Ethernet 0 से कनेक्टेड है, so that कि I can access GUI of the Sophos firewall, right? And this IP, I mean ये वाला जो गेटवे होगा इन यूजर के लिए, प्रोडक्शन के लिए होगा, लेट सपोज ये वाला डीबी के लिए हो गया, राइट? और ये हेल्प डेस्क के लिए होगा, राइट? और ये मेरा सबनेट है, यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो, राइट? सो नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू ओपन द GUI ऑफ द सपोज फायरवॉल, राइट? यूजर नेम एडमिन, पासवर्ड एडमिन 1 2 3 4 5, राइट? so that so that you can see that I have successfully logged in the Sophos firewall, right? So let me show you the interface configuration, right? By default configuration. So as you can see that port A, right? Port is, this is the management, right? Management interface, right? From where I am accessing the GUI access of this particular this Sophos firewall, right? And this is the port B would be the WAN interface, right? So as you can see that this port is taking IP address from the DHCP, right? So this is the default configuration. So now I'm going to create zones first of all, right? So if you want to create zones, these are the default zone, right? So please ignore these things. So I'm going to create zones, right? So as you can see that I am going to assign prod, right? Production department, right? So I am going to assign name is prod VLAN 10, right? So you can assign, you can enter any other description, right? So now I am going to leave these things. So ये पोर्ट जो मेरा होगा LAN होगा, राइट? सो आई एम गोइंग टू assign administrative access HTTPS SSH, right? And DNS and ping also. So as you can see that zones has been created, right? Production VLAN, right? VLAN 10. So zones has been added successfully, as you can see that. So now I am going to create one more zone DB, right? VLAN 10, right? And assign, so type would be the LAN, because this users is behind the Sophos firewall, right? Network devices, right? Ping, and say you can choose this option as well as per your requirement. So I am doing right now lab, that's why I have selected these option only, right? So one more zone has been added. तो आप यहाँ देख सकते हैं कि दो जोन क्रिएट हो चुके, राइट? सो आई हैव टू फॉरगेट, सो Let me delete this one, right? Because I didn't mention here VLAN 20, right? DB VLAN 20, right? So as you can see that zone has been added, right? I'm going to create one more zone for help desk department. So as per my topology, three zone has been created, right? So now I am going to create inter-VLAN routing. So I will add those inter-VLAN routing in zones, right? In this zone. So as you can see that three zones has been created. So now I am going to create inter-VLAN routing, right? So as you can see, there is a VLAN, right? So I am going to create add VLAN, right? So VLAN n, right? Port would be the, let me check which is the port, right? First of all, so port is the management port and port B is the WAN port. I think port C would be the LAN port, right? Port C. Zone would be the LAN, VLAN ID will be the 10, right? So IP address 10.1.1.10, राइट। सो ये वाली जो आईपी होगी जो मैं यहाँ पे असाइन कर रहा हूँ इस वीलैन के अंडर दिस वीलैन, सो ये वाला मेरा गेटवे होगा फॉर प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट, राइट। सो आई एम गोइंग टू जस्ट सेव इट। I think I have forget one thing. So here I have to add, right? June would be the production, right? So as you can see that under Villantian production underscore Villantian, which I have created zones, is added in this Villantian, right? So I am going to create one more VLAN, right? VLAN 20. This would be the port C, right? Under port C, I will assign DB, right? Because I have already created zone, right? VLAN ID will be the 20, right? And gateway 10.1.2.10, right? And save. This would be the help desk zone, right? बिकॉज मैंने ये VLAN 30 जो है हेल्प डेस्क डिपार्टमेंट को असाइन कर रखा है, राइट। एंड गेटवे वुड बी 10.1.3.10, राइट। Sorry, this would be the VLAN ID, right? So VLAN ID will be 10 and gateway will be 10.3.10, right? So just save it. So VLAN interface could not be added IP address we already have. Okay, so VLAN ID will be 30, right? And okay. As you can see that 3 SBI, VLAN ID has been created in this Sophos firewall, right? And the which zone I have created, right, in Sophos firewall, right? These three zones I have added these zones in this SBI, Inter-VLAN routing, right? So let's check out that these are the department, production department, database server, and help desk department are able to communicate to each other or not, right? So I'm going to assign IP address first, right? Just turn on. So let me take the console of this PC, right? So, so as you can see that IP address is already configured. So as per my topology, let me ping the database server's IP address. As you can see that this my production department is not are not able to communicate to the DP department. So first of all, I have to create policy in Sophos firewall. So let's check how to create policy, right? Rule in Sophos firewall, right? So let me show you one thing from here from help desk department, right? Whether help desk department are able to communicate to the internet or not, right? So I have to assign IP address 10.1.k.1.255.255.0 and gateway would be 10.3.10, right? Just save and ping 8.8.8.8.8. As you can see that not able to communicate to the Google DNS. So we have to check the policy whether policy rule is configured on Sophos firewall or not. So here is the rule option, right? So as you can see there, these are the default rules. So first of all, I have to create rules, right? So as per topology, I'm going to create the zone. Let me show you. I'm going to create policy, right? So as you can see that production department can communicate to the help desk department and DB departments can communicate to the production department and help desk can communicate the internet, right? Production help desk, right? So prod to help desk, right? And I'm going to rule position top. I'm going to have rule position on top, right? In this option, I'm going to enable log firewall calls, traffic so that I can analyze the traffic, right? Source would be the production, right? Production VLAN, right? And services, I'm going to assign IP address for a specific machine. So IP 10.1.1.1 only. And so as you can see that it is showing that 10.1.1 is already assigned, right? So let me check it out. Source is going to be add IP. I think it is already added. Let me click here and 10.1.1.1. As you can see that it is already added, right? So as you can see that it is added, outgoing zone will be the WAN, right? Right. Sorry, outgoing would be the help desk, right? Then okay, and destination would be the I think 10.1.3.1, right? So it is not added, so I have to add this IP 10.1.3.1, right? So as you can see, services I am going to have any right now because I am doing lab. So in your case, you can allow only specific services, right? So just save it. There are security features as well, so you can allow as per your requirements. So I am going to leave these things right now because I am doing lab, right? So as you can see that one policy has been added, and now I'm going to create for right. So I'm going to create one more policy for DB to production department, right? New rule DB to prod, right? So you can rule you can give this rule position on bottom as well, right? So zone DB to application, I mean DB, right? And course I'm going to have 10.1.2.1. So as you can see that it is already created, and destination would be the product department, right? And VLAN 10 VLAN zone, right? So destination would be the I think 10.1.1, right? In same services I'm going to have all right now, right? So as you can see that two policy has been configured. Now I'm going to create one more policy for help desk department so that help desk department can communicate to the outside world, I mean internet, right? Help desk to internet, right? Source would be the help desk, right? Help desk zone, and source I'm going to have 10.1.3.1, right? Destination would be the WAN, right? Because help desk department uh, will be able to access WAN, I mean internet, right? Help desk department can access the internet, right? Services destination, I'm going to have keep it any, right? Services any, right? So as you can see, you can configure as per your requirement these security features, right? So scan HTTP and quick write, scan FTP. So you can allow. So here is the many more option, right? Right. So as you can see, heartbeat interface as well, security heartbeat, right? So I am going to leave these things, right? Because I'm doing lab, right? So as you can see that three zones has been configured, right? I mean three policy has been configured, right? Production department can communicate to help desk department and help desk department can communicate to the internet and DB can communicate to the production department. So let's verify it. So as you can see that right now there are no traffic, right? It is showing that in incoming traffic 0 byte and outgoing traffic is showing 0 byte, right? So as you can see that. So let's go to the lab, right? So this, I mean, let me check. I mean, production department can communicate to the database server. So just check the IP. Let me check the IP, what I have assigned for this machine. So there is no IP is configured. 10.1.2.1, 552.5.2.5.0, then 10.1.2.10, right? This is the IP address and this is the subnet mask. This is the gateway IP address. So as you can see that IP address assigned. So let me check from the production, right? So ping 10.1.2.1, right? So as you can see that this machine is not able to communicate to the production department, right? So let me check the policy. So prod to help desk, right? And DB to prod. So as you can see that prod to help desk, I mean production department can communicate to the help desk department, right? So let me check these things, right? So I am doing wrong way. So this is the, I think in, I mean in 10.1.3.1, right? So as you can see that traffic is coming out, right? So this machine is able to communicate, right? Because I have configured the policy from the production department can communicate to the help desk department, right? So let me show you the policy as well as here you can see the traffic as well, right? In this policy. So let me check the rule. So here as you can see that production department to help desk department, production IP address is 10.1.1 and help desk department IP address is 10.1.3.1. So that's why this policy is showing the incoming incoming traffic and outgoing traffic, and now I'm going to check from DB to production department, right? So DB, I think let me check the DB, PC4 can communicate to the PC1, right? Ping 10.1.1.1. So as you can see that traffic is coming out, right? So let me trace it, trace 10.1.1.1. So as you can see that first it is going to the gateway, then it is going to the destination machine's IP address. It is going to the production server, right? So now I have to check that this department can communicate to the internet, outside world or not. So this is the PC5. This machine can communicate to the outside world because I have configured the policy, right? So let me check from PC5, right? Ping 8.8.8.8. So as you can see that this machine is able to access Google DNS. Internet is working fine, right? So trace 8.8.8. First it will go the gateway IP address. 10.1.3.10, right? So as you can see that, right? First it is going to the gateway, then it is going to the one interface IP address, right? So as you can see that, right? I have also shown you, right? So let me refresh one more time. As you can see that there is no traffic, right? Right, in this policy as well this policy. Let me refresh again it. Rule and policy. If you want to check the policy, so rule, so you have to go to under protect, right? So there is option rule and policy. So as you can see that here it is showing the traffic, right? So if you want to verify, so you can verify here as well. As so go to the log viewer, right? Here, so as you can see that traffic is showing, right? If you want to test policy, so you can test here. If you want to check log, so this log will be shared, right? This logs will be shared on this, right? So I am going to test. As you can see that click on this here. So I am going to test ICMP, right? A.A.A. Google DNS. So source I'm going to assign 10.3.1. This is the help desk department IP address, right? Just click test on this. So it will show that which policy is currently using help desk department, right? So as you can see that policy ID it is using 5, right? And result it is showing accepted. This policy is configured in this Sophos firewall. So if you click on this rule, right? So policy ID you can check from here as well. As it is taking too much time because my machine does not have enough RAM, right? That's why, right? So here as you can see, just wait a minute. Active firewall rules. So as you can see that recently I have created 3 rules. That's why it is showing the new 3 new rule is created, right? And disable 2 rule, right? Unused 5 rule, right? And here you can see that CPU, bandwidth, memory, right? Session, how many session are created on this Sophos firewall. So here the performance services, right? If you want to diagnostic, you can diagnostic from here as well as go to the diagnostic, right here. So you can test, right, connection list as well as from here, right? So as you can see, these are the connection have which has established in the Sophos firewall, right? So yeah, from here you can capture the packet as well as, right. As you can see that here it is showing the log viewer. You can check log viewer from here as well as, right. And if you want to test policy, you can test from here as well as, right. So that's how you can configure the zones, inter-VLAN routing, and policy, right? So let me recall once again what I have configured in this topology, right? So I have configured, first of all, let me show you. First of all, I have created zones, right? As you can see that these are the default zones, right? So I have created first of all zone, right? Because I am using 3 zones, right? Production department, database server, and help desk department, right? Then I have created VLAN, I mean SBI, right? Here is the VLAN, right? Then I have added these zone in different VLAN, I mean in the SBI, I mean inter VLAN routing, right? So then I created the policy, right? So as you can see that these are the this is the diagram. From this diagram, I have demonstrated you how to configure zones, intervention routing, and policy creation. So if you have understood from this video, so I would like to request you please like, subscribe my channel so that I can enhance my technical skills. So thank you for watching this video till the end.